So will the economy really improve by next Christmas, as many are hoping? And how exactly will that happen? Let's get some insight for you from the money coach, personal finance expert Lynette Calfani-Cox, and Terry Savage, Chicago Sun-Times personal finance columnist and also the author of The Savage Number. How much money do you need to retire? Good to have you both with us tonight. Terry, as we just heard from Tom Foreman there, 93% of Americans say the economic conditions are poor, and really it doesn't get much worse than that. Consumer confidence, though, as we know, inched up slightly, still well below last year's level. So how can the economy recover here if Americans don't seem to have quite as much faith in a recovery right away?
Well, I think Americans have faith in the longer-term future, but they also realize they have a lot of stuff. They've been shopping for years, and Americans also have a lot of debt and a relatively low level of savings. We've been dissaving, living on credit cards for the last 3 or 4 years. That's a potent combination when you add to that news of job losses every day and home prices falling. So Americans are smarter than we give them credit for. We've been living in a little bit of a dream bubble for a while, but now Americans are recognizing the reality. And when we get through this, we'll come out on the other side stronger.
Hopefully stronger in terms of saving. I know that's something that both you and Lynette are big advocates for, and as you mentioned, we're seeing more of it. But let's be honest here, Lynette, 2/3 of the U.S. economy is consumer spending. So the best thing for the country really is to spend, while, as we know, the best thing for individual Americans is to save. So how do you balance those two in the near term?
Well, I'm a big proponent of people taking care of their personal financial affairs. I don't think any of us should have to be sort of financial kamikazes and sort of fall on our sword and fail to save in order for the greater good of the country. Some of those issues are going to have to be wrought out by policy measures, and obviously the incoming Obama administration is looking at doing a number of things to address those 3 factors that Terry just mentioned with regard to jobs, the housing market, and the stock market. But individuals, families, have to first take care of their individual personal financial affairs and not be so overly concerned about what they can do to, whether it's to spend or do something else to improve the overall economy.
Terry, when it comes to state by state, when we look at the economy, the numbers can be even more depressing. We're hearing from California, the state could be bankrupt by February. The governor there, I think we have a quick bit of sound from him that I want to get you to listen to and get your opinion on.
Now, the crazy thing about this is that here's President-elect Obama, who is talking about an infrastructure package to rebuild the whole United States, to put people to work, to stimulate the economy, and we here at the same time are canceling infrastructure projects. Is that not ironic? Is that not crazy?
So Governor Schwarzenegger talking about the plan, but saying, look, in his state, it's already too late. Is this stimulus plan, from what we know of it, going to work, Terry?
Well, that's very interesting, because we never question that the federal government says, well, we'll make it $300 billion or $500 or $700 or $1 trillion, because we know the federal government can literally create that money through the printing presses, the Federal Reserve System, or try to borrow it from the rest of the world. The states are a little bit limited in that. They're bound to have a balanced budget. They don't have access to the printing presses. So they're forced to face reality first. And it's certainly, if there is a federal infrastructure program, it will probably be done through the states. They're best qualified to know where the programs need be done. But then on the other hand, you raise that specter of, okay, I want mine, and each state representative and senator trying to get a bit of that huge pork barrel that's going to be inevitable if there's a huge spending program.
Going to be a lot of give and take, and we'll be hearing a little bit about that pork, I imagine. Terry Savage, Lynette Calfani-Cox, thank you both for being with us.